another video. I'm Jo. I'm a personal trainer, RABT mindset coach, and a personal cheerleader for you. If you are struggling with your emotional attachment to food, struggling to get fit and healthy, I help you change your mindset so that you can change your lifestyle forever. And if you are looking for coaching, you can visit my website at joannajoy.com, joannajoy with an I.com. All right, so today is another edition of Mindset Monday. And today I'm going to share with you, it's kind of silly and a little embarrassing, but 3 phrases that I often say to myself to help me get over a hump. Okay, you guys know that every time I film, Chase must let you know that he exists. So what he's doing right now is just rustling around in his crate for no reason so that you know he exists. If you're new, Chase is my dog. Chase-ifer. So someone asked me, way back when, like how I felt about affirmations. And I'm a fan of affirmations. I wasn't always a fan of affirmations. And I'm also a fan of just having some phrases for yourself so that you can kind of snap yourself out of it, stay positive, stay forward thinking, stay solution oriented, and acknowledge what's happening without being like spiraled out of control. So they may be a little silly, but I don't know, whatever. Like, hopefully this helps you. Okay, the first phrase that I say to my clients all the time is, it be like that sometimes. And you guys know, like, I used to teach English. I know that is not grammatically correct, whatever. But essentially what it means is like, yes, this sucks. Yes, it's hard. Yes, this thing happened. And it be like, sometimes it's like that, right? And it's a way of just saying that, I can just deal with this. I don't have to solve it, but it exists. I acknowledge it exists. And sometimes life is like that. And I had a friend in college who would often, things would be going on and, he would be struggling or I would be struggling with something. And he would just say to me, it'd be like that sometimes. And it's like, yeah, it is. And it'll be fine in 3 days or 6 months. And I use this particularly when my clients are having like a really hard time, in their personal lives and then balancing, maybe eating healthy food or, maybe they went out and they've been really, really structured and had, been eating in moderation. And all of a sudden they just had a day where they're like, oh, I don't know what happened. I just like started over consuming and I'm like, it'd be like that sometimes. And that's not a pass. It's just a way for you to diffuse so that you're not going like, I'm a bad person, like no shame. Like we're not doing all that, right? Because sometimes when you get into the spiral of shame, you start trying to fix it. And that sometimes includes like restrictive behavior. So my thing is, it be like that sometimes, just move on. Next, be better the next day. There's no like wallowing and lamenting of how horrible it is. It's like, it'd be like that sometimes. Sometimes I come home and I have cereal and protein shake for dinner because I just can't make a meal. It'd be like that sometimes. It's not that way every single day, but sometimes it's like that. Okay, so that's the first phrase. Practice that, but it's not a pass to keep doing the same thing over and over again. It's just a way to diffuse and to just move on. Number 2, there's grace for that. And this is a phrase that I actually adopted during my, I worked with Nicole Walters on my business, and she's a phenomenal, by the way, business coach. And it's a phrase that I adopted during my program with her because, expecting perfection immediately is it's a recipe for self-sabotage. And when you allow yourself the grace to like try again, like to mess up and then try again, like thank God for his grace, right? That he lets us mess up and mess up and mess up. And we keep repenting and trying again and trying again. And maybe it's, we get a hold of one particular area in our life where we're struggling and then another thing pops up and there's grace for that. Thank God there's grace for that. And in your fitness journey, you're going to need grace. And it's not even just related to food. I think it's also related to like exercise and just being like, I couldn't go 110% today, but I got in there and I moved my body. There's grace for not being able to go 110%. There's grace for other people too. When other people are not understanding of your journey, you know what? There's grace for that. Like you are not quite understanding where I am and what I need to do if I'm someone who's really needs to lose some weight and gain some muscle for health reasons, and someone's like, why are you eating healthy all of a sudden? Why are you eating salads? There's grace for them too, right? Because we received grace, so why not extend that to other people? Now, again, doesn't mean that we don't defend ourselves, or it doesn't mean that we don't try and fix it, but we also don't go around trying to beat ourselves up because we made a mistake, okay? So there's grace for that. That is phrase number 2. All right, and the last one is kind of a phrase / a question. I'm someone who's like extremely hard on myself, and it's actually something that I'm working on. Is I'm an overthinker. I will shame myself till the cows come home. I am really, I expect perfection out of myself, which I'd be telling y'all not to do that. I'm just telling you, the reason why I tell you guys is because I'm telling myself also. And it's actually gotten a lot better, which relates to this third phrase. And the third phrase that I often ask my clients is, are you doing better than before? Were you doing better? Are you doing better than you were last week, last month? So oftentimes when a client's working with me, they're not, I'm not expecting them to get on their meal plan 100% right away. I'm expecting them to make tiny habit changes. And in our check-in calls, they'll say something like, oh, and last week I was at a party and I just had one slice of cake and I didn't feel like I needed to eat it all because I couldn't have it the next day. And they're like, but I ate the slice of cake. And I'm like, pause. You literally just told me that you've never done that before. You've never not thought, oh, I better eat all of these cupcakes because I'm not going to get them the next week, or I'm so bad. Like, that is huge. To me, you're doing better than before. And so when I ask myself, am I doing better than before? It's a way for me to, reel it back in and say, yes, I have a goal, but also let me acknowledge that I've made some steps along the way. One thing for me is I used to be late everywhere, like all the places. And I started adding 15 minutes to my own personal time, where it was like, okay, if I'm supposed to leave at 30 minutes, I leave 45 minutes in before. And sometimes I still am late, but I'm late maybe 10% of the time instead of 70% of the time. So I can beat myself up for being late, but I can also look back and be like, hey, I'm doing pretty good right now. Like I'm making sure that I'm early and I'm at places when I need to be and things like that. So that phrase and that question of, am I doing better than before? It allows you to look back at what you've done, and then it allows you to keep going because you can always be improving, right? You can always be doing something better until you reach your goal, right? So that question of, am I doing better than before? All right, should I recap? Number 1, it'd be like that sometimes. Number 2, there's grace for that. And number 3, am I doing better than before? All right, you guys, that's it for today's video. Please do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on social media. I am Joanna Joy on Instagram. If you are interested in health and fitness coaching, you can send me an email at coaching@fitandflourishing.com, or you can go ahead and message me on Instagram and I'll get in contact with you there. All right, you guys, enjoy the rest of your week. Happy Monday, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.